Good morning, everyone. So, today I'm going to be filming myself drawing in my sketchbook. And I have to do 2 pages because I missed yesterday. So, we need to get right into it. So, I think I'm going to warm up here with maybe a snake head. And let's see, so a snake usually has that sort of blunt nose, and then it's got these little things where its fangs come out. And, I'm drawing in the sort of Americana style, so this is not going to look like your typical realistic snake by any means. Okay, and we'll give him a mouth here. Let's see. Make it come down a little bit more, make it more dramatic. Okay, that comes up. Boom, boom. And then, let's see, how do we want to do this head that he's got here? First off, I usually do the mouth like this, and on the bottom as well, come up. And let's give him a tongue. Okay, something like that. And then I always go back and tidy things up. But let's give him one eye, because if I was to do an eye right there, it might look a little bit strange, but we can sort of add that little flair there. His eye is actually a little bit further back than I originally had it, I think. Yeah. Something like that, which makes that eye more right there. Okay. Coming around, and something like that. I think that's a decent start. And of course, I feel obligated to remind you guys that I was not taught this style, and so I'm self-taught, and I'm only a little over a year in of teaching myself how to do this, and so just bear with me, have some patience, because this is actually a pretty difficult style to do. So to all the people out there who have been doing this for decades or whatever, I really give you guys a lot of props. Because you set down some fruit and tell me to draw a still life from that. I can do that all day. But you tell me to draw a snake in this style completely from imagination, and it's actually pretty damn difficult. So, I'm just getting these sort of trying to get about as close to how I want it as I can. Looks like he's got 3 nostrils now. And let's see. It just doesn't quite look like what I want, but that's fine because that's what the sketchbook is for. So we're here to just fail fast and keep it moving. So let's see. I feel like doing let's do a Reaper, because I plan on doing some flash here soon. A couple sheets with a Reaper and a Hermit. So we've got a skull here. I mean, yikes. You know, it's crazy how I really thought I could draw well until I started working in my sketchbook, and then I realized that, holy shit, I have so much practicing that I need to do. And, well, this is what practice looks like. So, like, what the hell is going on here? You know, what is this cloak situation? Because it doesn't look right to me. You know? But I currently don't know what to do to fix that, so just have to work through it. You know, like, suddenly right now I want to stop doing this Reaper. And I think one of the cool things about having a sketchbook is I can either stop here, or like maybe I could start to build his arm and just kind of see what happens with that. And if I still don't like that, and I'm thinking we can have his little scythe maybe coming behind him like that, almost like a sun. It might look interesting with some real contrast in the shading. Like if I make the blade dark and keep his cloak real bright, or the opposite. Probably the opposite. That would make more sense. But the cool thing about art is it actually doesn't have to make sense. You can just kind of, now granted, I think you need to know what makes sense before you start trying to get a little bit crazy with it. But whatever makes sense doesn't necessarily have to make sense on paper, especially when it's not real, technically. I'm sure a lot of people do believe that the Grim Reaper is a real entity, and I don't want to knock that from anybody, but we're gonna go ahead and cut this guy off because I don't like how this is looking. Yeah, that looks weird as fuck, so not really too happy with that. It's all good though. Let's see what else we can do. I'm on a time crunch here also. Let's see. When in doubt, just do a rose, So kind of get why those Rose toys have their name like that, because I mean that looks just like one of those toys. Okay, go here, go there, pop up right there. Okay, boom, boom, it's good. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, because I don't know why not. Why not? Okay, come down right there. Come down right there. Boom. We gotta come down over here. And again. Bam. And let's see. Oof. That was a weird move right there, but there's that. Did that. So, bam. Okay. And I guess from there we can maybe do 1, 2, 3 maybe? Which means maybe we can come out over here like that. Something like that. And we've still got this situation going on, and it's not too shabby. I'm not mad about that. God. Ooh. Pardon me. Got a little stem going. Let's see. That's a great spot for a leaf. Fun thing about working in a sketchbook too is sometimes I like to pretend that, after I've gotten a few sketches down on the paper, I like to pretend that it's a person who already has tattoos and they need this done for some filler, and it's just a little bit of a fun exercise for me, I suppose. Just, keeps you on your toes a little bit, and it can help you see everything as like a cohesive concept, like it all can kind of fit together. Like right in here, I feel like doing something. I think I'm gonna do a little star just because I just kind of feel like doing that. I think that's something that's really cool about sketching in a sketchbook too, is you can just kind of like have these impulses and just do that shit, and it's like whatever. You don't have to think too hard about it, It's just a sketchbook. And I used to be like really, I wouldn't say against working in my sketchbook, but I was so gung-ho about making pieces. I gotta make pieces. I gotta make the best piece. And I feel like that was actually delaying my growth pretty heavily. So there's our star. Let's get some of these things going in here. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. Cool. Cool. Maybe a little shading in this rose, just so that when we go back, we know what we want to do. This is not the official shading by any means, so take this slightly, don't beat me up over how this looks. I don't care if it's not right. I'm not here to make a perfect piece. I'm here to just simply practice. And I've noticed that this really is helping me in my work. And it's just really cool, like, just kind of have this log going. And I'm trying to do this every single day forever. Kidding, but maybe that would be kind of cool, you know, when I'm 80 years old, going back through and seeing what kind of stuff I did, how far I've come. I want to do something kind of crazy with this. I want to make that go like that. Ooh, I think I messed up. Yeah. Fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. See how the fuck? Bam. Bam. I'm telling y'all, this shit crazy. Doesn't make any sense. I like that about it. Fuck it. Got that crazy ass little star right there. Bam. Bam. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Guess maybe I'll just put some fire in here just because, man, fire's awesome. So, do like that, and like that, and I guess that can come up like that. Okay, now usually when I'm doing fire, I don't really know where to go from here, so I'm just gonna try that. And maybe I'll come down a little bit more and try that maybe. Okay. It's interesting. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm going for. And let's see, go back down here. Ooh, fucked up right there. See, that's all good. It's all good. Okay, there's some random ass fire. Cool. Maybe right here we can do some kind of like sword deal. Nice. Got the blade going there. And let's see. The handle will have to end right here. So we might have to adjust some things, because there's that, and say that's that. Okay. And I don't know. Let's do something like this and have some of the like scale things going. It's kind of cool. We'll see. We'll see if that makes the final cut. And then I've seen people do like that kind of thing. Not really sure how they do that actually. Something like that. Okay, cool. So we've got one page done, and this is something that I'm, I guess, making for all you other artists out there who kind of have this like crippling procrastination type thing going on, which I had for a really long time. This is such a great way to just like do some shit. You gotta do some shit. You gotta keep doing shit. Doing an eye right here. usually draw eyes like this, so this is interesting that I've chosen these movements to make this eyeball or eye. I'm actually a little bit unsure of how I usually make eyes. Sometimes I just like to let myself go into autopilot. And let's see. Oh. Okay, that was weird. But oh well. We'll come back in with another pencil, finish that up. Let's do some leaves. And part of this too is just like, I don't want to have to do stuff like this every time. I want to be able to say to myself what I want to do and just kind of be able to put that down. And I understand that I will have to, every artist still has to do things like this, rough renderings, but imagine if I could just make it less messy. That would be cool. So, let's see. Maybe this would be a good spot for a cat. So tried to make him have like he's going like that, but I don't think I quite nailed that. So, I mean, as you can tell, I'm not really good at this by any means, but that's why I'm doing this, because I want to be good at this. That's something I want really bad. I really want to be good at this. So, this is what I have to do to get there. And this is something that, for everyone that wants to become a tattoo artist, especially in this style, if you want to make it easier for you, you need to start doing this like every single day. Because you can fool people with realism, Pinterest stuff, but after a while with traditional, you're just gonna look like a copy of everyone else's style if you keep trying to use other people's works as your reference. And that's something that I'm realizing, and I've been wanting to find my own voice. So, okay, did that. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's go right here for sure. And I always like to make my eyes like crazy looking every time. Thought everyone else was showing up for work, and that's when I'm gonna have to cut the video. So that's part of the reason why I'm on a little bit of a time crunch here. And I have an appointment in 2 hours, and I'd like to go home here in a second and eat before I gotta do that. So bam, little random ass skull. Okay, and then we've got this whole fucking area right here. Shit. So I'm kind of messing around with the idea of maybe a big ass cow. I don't really know how to do that. Okay. This is a crazy looking cow. And honestly, this doesn't look like a traditional cow by any means, but you know what? Fuck it. They've got that little, like, weird ass tail like that. Look at how little that back leg is. It's so funny. Oh, sounds like somebody might be here. So if you don't hear me talking, that's why. Kind of looks like a demon pit bull. I'll take it. I don't even think they have split hooves, actually. Pretty sure they don't. And that's another thing about sketching is I do need to start using references, but it is kind of fun to, like, guess what things are correct and what's not, you know? Because you actually might know more than you think you do. So let's go ahead and just go through all these and turn them into something a little bit cooler, I guess. Almost forgot about that little second eye. I don't know about that decision I just made, but it's just gonna have to do because I'm on a time crunch. And that's another fun thing you can do with these too, is you can put yourself on a time crunch and be like, I gotta get this done. It just makes it a little bit more challenging, but also like fun, because you're not just doing this, you know, this is a challenge. You gotta get this thing completed. It's not the most important thing on your schedule, and because of that, it's actually like the hardest thing to do, because you just keep being like, let me just do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow adds up quick. So if you tell yourself, well, I absolutely have to do it today and in 5 minutes, well, that's something you can do for sure. Okay, I like this rose. I might actually use this for something. And that's something, it's another thing I like about sketchbooks is they're like a little well of ideas. And for every artist, as you know, there will be a time when you feel like you have no ideas and you don't know what the fuck to do. So you can always come back to your sketchbook and be like, oh shit, I forgot I had that in there. And that's really convenient. It's like you gotta do these sort of mundane things because they really do help in the long run. That's kind of a good rose there. And you know, I'm always hard on myself about my work, which I'm sure everyone can relate to that. So it feels good when you're just kind of like flowing and all of a sudden you make something really cool and you're like, damn, I can do that. I am capable of doing cool stuff like that. Forgot about that other thorn right there. We'll just have to forget it and that one too. Okay. See, we're at 38 minutes, so I'm gonna cut this about 8:45. I mean, fuck am I talking about? At 45 minutes. Because I got stuff to do. I wish I had more to talk about, but I feel like no one's gonna see this video anyway. Reaper is so fucking screwed, man. I forgot I was working on this knife. I just kind of like went over to the Reaper just out of nowhere. I didn't even realize. Not sure what that is, what that's supposed to be. Okay, we'll do this panther, and then I think we'll call it a wrap on that. Foot's too big. Like, how do you make that seem like it's doing this, you know? If you know, please, let me know. I need to know. And come around. Bam. Bam. There's his knee. Oof. God, I'm butchering these feet so bad, but I'm getting hungry, I can tell. Okay. And whatever the fuck that cow is. That's all I got for today. I need to date this real quick. Let's see, what's today, the 10th? I really hope these get better throughout future, because, I mean, that's a pretty rough sketchbook, but hey, here we go.